Well, hello, friends, and welcome back to another practice growth strategy. Today, I want to talk to you about how to improve T4 to T3 conversion. This is on the heels of the whiteboard drawing that I did last week. Now, one of the primary reasons that will prevent T4 to convert to T3 is high levels of cortisol. So when you have patients that are under high amounts of stress, that T4 to T3 conversion is going to be compromised. And what happens is T4, as I mentioned last week, that T4 will shunt down or go down that reverse T3, the non-selenium dependent pathway. It'll go into reverse T3, acting as a brake because the patient is under some stress. So the body goes, oh, hey, whoa, we can't let that happen. So we're going to give a little more T3 to protect the system and keep her from blowing her stack. So we're going to give more T3, reverse T3. That reverse T3 occupies those receptors, and it, in essence, leaves less room for T3 to occupy the cell receptors. So the patient ends up feeling sluggish, tired, all the thyroid symptoms, hypothyroid symptoms. And it might not be anything wrong with the thyroid. It's just that there's too much stress, and cortisol blocks T4 to T3 conversion, period. The other thing that will do that is estrogens. So women that are on like hormone replacement or birth control pills, or they're getting estrogen in their body care products, that estrogen will also block that conversion or impair it. It weakens it. And so we have to think about that. So when you have patients that you're looking at that TSH and it's looking a little off to you, it's higher than you want it to be, signaling that there may not be enough downstream hormone, don't automatically assume that there's something wrong with the thyroid. There may be nothing wrong with the thyroid. What might be happening is we just have poor conversion of T4 to T3. So the first place you want to look is, what is her stress response? The second place you want to look is, if it's a she, is she getting any exogenous exposure to estrogen? Not typically going to be endogenous estrogen, because the body's going to keep that stable and put it right where it needs to be. It's usually exogenous, so something that's coming in. And then after you've ruled all that out, my favorite herb to do that increase and just give a nice little nudge, it's not a huge push, just a nice little nudge, is ashwagandha. I recommend using ashwagandha forte. That helps to improve that T4 to T3 conversion. So you can also use thyroid complex from MediHerb. That's a great one to use. And don't forget, when you are thinking about feeding and nourishing that thyroid itself, you want to use things like, a PMG, thytrophin PMG. You may want to use Imuplex. You may want to use some kind of thyroid, what I like to call a thyroid multivitamin. In other words, it's got all those key nutrients that the thyroid needs, not to exclude the importance of selenium, but we need selenium and zinc and magnesium and B vitamins, and the list goes on and on. But for today, what I want to make sure you know is, how do you improve that T4 to T3 conversion? Number one, to recap, make sure that you are doing what you need to do to reduce stress. And that ashwagandha forte is going to help because it's such a wonderful adaptogen. So we want to get those cortisol levels down. Number two, we want to look for exogenous estrogens, some type of exogenous exposure. That could be a problem. And then number three, you may just want to give the system a little bit of a nudge just to kind of help it make more efficient conversion of T4 to T3. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope these are helpful for you. Take care. I'll be back next week.